Hey, howdy. I'm back, doing some more Yumatsuki. I'm gonna make good on my promise from last time. We were going to Glitched Aquarium this time. And I think I know a route that's faster. We'll have to see. I think the route that we want to go through is Red Streetlight World, Hot Air Balloon, Azalea Passage, Whispery Sewers, Navy Sewers, Abject Chaos, Frozen Stratosphere, Sacred Stairways, and then Glitched Aquarium. But before we do that, I'm going to head to Uro's Dream Apartment so that we can go Butcher's Hollow and do a daily. There's no particular reason why, besides just I want to keep up with it, and I think I'm still missing something. Like, there is a reason why I'm continuing to do these dailies, I just don't recall it at the present moment. It's also just fun. Oh, I don't even have to go down this ladder. Yeah, I'm slightly frazzled. So let me explain where we're going, and then I'll talk about why I'm frazzled. We're gonna go through Sugar Road to Mountaintop Ruins to dodge part of that route, because I feel like it might actually be faster. I found a shortcut through Sugar Road that I haven't been utilizing up to this point. Because these telephone booths, I didn't realize they were, like, teleporters before, but they are teleporters. And I'm now up in the top end of Sugar Road, and Mountaintop Ruins is just right here. So instead of having to walk all the way across Sugar Road, that was really fast, and now I'm in an area that, for all intents and purposes, is way deeper than how long it would have taken me to go through, like, Azalea Passage and such. Because from here, we can go to Eyeball Cherry Fields, and then go from Eyeball Cherry Fields to, I want to say, Whispery Sewers? And then Whispery to Navy, onwards and upwards. Okay, so why am I so frazzled? I ended up playing some more Otome and had some friends watch. And I'm frazzled because, I mean, it's just kind of good. It's just a really good game. It's a very good game. It is very, like, it's very tropey writing, but I hate to say it, the tropes are working on me, mainly because a lot of the recurring themes are stabbing me directly in the chest. Because I think I might just play it on the channel at a certain point, because I feel like it would be fun. But to give a long and short of it, the main character is a young woman who's, like, just now finishing college and doing what is essentially grad school and cram school so that she can get a decent job. All while having to deal with her her divorced and very abusive mother. And while I will say the divorce aspect is not the part that resonated with me, the entire rest of it of, hey, by the way, you don't know what you're doing with your life, and you're currently doing higher education because you've been put up to it. Basically, that entire conversation that like me baring my chest when we were when I was going through Karoshi, that one collective unconscious area about overwork. I was, like, talking at length about how, like, I kind of just felt like I was going through school because other people said that it would get me a job, and I was feeling super, super, super disillusioned because I wasn't finding a damn job. And the more that people said, oh, just keep going, just keep applying to jobs, it became increasingly obvious that the people who were trying to direct me along the right path didn't really know what they were talking about, and that led to the further revelation of why am I doing this in the first place then. But some of the dialogue just stabbed me directly in the chest. A lot of dialogue of, like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? I have to be perfect so that I can get a job, and if I can't get a job, then I guess I just have to go to law school or die. The law school bit doesn't really resonate with me as much, but, like, the character is an art student, but like I felt I felt a certain kinship with her because computer science has no jobs right now, and there was a lot of very similar thoughts going rattling around in my own brain. Okay, so I think I'm already going the wrong way, but next path is Navy Sewers. Now, where is Navy Sewers? No, I think this is correct. Yeah, I'm here. So I need to backtrack the tiniest bit. I went down those two sets of ladders. Right. Um, I'm trying to like parse where I even need to go here. This is a very labyrinthine area. I think I see where I need to go though. Keep going this way, across and down. And I think this leads me to the first door. But yeah, that stabbed me directly in the chest. Also, it was just very it was a very intense a series of like very intense emotional moments with the love interest character, which I'm gonna be real, I was not huge on him at first. I've warmed up to him a lot. Not to say that he's perfect, but like something that I didn't realize, and none of us really did at the time, is that after a certain point, I was playing on a point of no return that was leading to that character's bad ending. Of the character becoming increasingly controlling of you and increasingly hostile before eventually spiking your drink. And it trails off, but the implications are not good for what happened after that, for what happens after that point. Oh wait, wrong one. Where does 3 lead here? This leads to... Ah, I see. 3 leads to 4, 4 leads to the outside area with glasses. Wait a second. While I'm here, I mean, I may as well, right? While I'm here, go and visit the cool stuff. And then crossing up. I don't know if I've ever actually visited this place before. Hmm. But yeah, it is an intense game. I get the impression that the most of the routes are this intense, which has me excited. Ooh. No, I've absolutely been here before, but hey, it's another excuse to come back here and look at the cool stuff. It's like, why else? Why else would I be playing this game, right? If not to look at the cool things and the really beautiful pixel art and the cool music. Just look at the cool. But yeah. It is intense. I get the impression that every single route is that intense, and that has me excited. So I'm interested to see where it leads. And there's one character in particular that I don't know quite what his deal is. And I've been told by my friend that he is the canonical, he's like the true final ending. Like he's intended to be done last, and I imagine he has a lot of like he leads to a lot of like external story explaining that the rest of the characters don't really get to. Of like why the suitors are there in the first place or what's actually going on. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know when that's going to happen because I've been enjoying it. I get the feeling that I'm going to go through every single route just to see what's up. I'm a little concerned about some of the routes, but I guess we'll get there when we get there. What the hell? Whoa, 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 whoa. Are these... Okay, yeah, don't tell me these are chasers. The warp moves around quickly. Does crossing stop it? God, I hope so. Stop there. They do not stop there. Okay, cool. So, the plan is I need to find some kind of prism. Prism of some description. Prism of some description! Okay, we got there. I was worried that was going to take longer. Oh my god, it's this world! I remember this now. We have gone along this path. And I think we've gotten this menu theme already, but... No, yeah, I remember very distinctly we got this menu theme. This was from the episode Frozen in Time. I remember this visual effect very clearly. Still dope visual effect, though. I really, really like it. Oh, and this is the place with the doors, isn't it? Hang on. I remember this now. This is also a really, really cool world. Yeah, the doors that pop in. And yeah, I remember this place being a massive headache. Last I was here, I think we went to Stasis Spire, right? Letters, miscellaneous warps, the numbers are what we want here. Just keep walking along until I get to 1. But yeah, that has been a delight. I'm so happy I went out of my way to play this game, because I never would have played it. I've already said this in the past, but like, I have been trying so desperately to like break keyfab and play games that I wouldn't normally play, and so far I have been so happy with the results. Because Dandelion has been super fun, and like, I never would have played it normally, but I pushed myself to play it anyway, and I'm really liking it. I don't know what future revelations will come because of it, but whatever happens, I'll be ready for it. At least I hope so. But yeah, that's been super fun. The other thing that happened that was more of a really funny thing is I ended up finding yet another big Wikipedia list of crazy things. A bit of a stranger one this time, but I promise the payoff is worth it. So I was reading an article about what's called in-res jurisdiction. Now I'm not going to give the full legal jargon because I don't understand a lot of it. And you'd be better, if you want an accurate definition, you'd be better off Googling it yourself. But the long and short of it is that in-res legislation, or jurisdiction, excuse me. In-res jurisdiction is basically when an object is the subject of a court case. And when I say an object, I mean explicitly like the first example that's listed here on the Wikipedia page is United States versus 422 casks of wine. And what ends up happening is that the objects themselves are held up for trial instead of some specific... I think there's like a plaintiff that can like work and like that can work to represent that specific... Okay, it's this way. Like, there can be a plaintiff that represents that object, but the bottom line is that the objects themselves are what's being held trial, because it's usually to my understanding, it's a civil forfeiture case. Like, the end goal is to determine who should have ownership of this object, whether it be some specific party, or the United States government, or some other corporate entity. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because the names of these cases are hilarious, because like I said, there is not a person being represented here. It's almost always United States versus object. And some of these names are hysterical. So, Before I trail off, let me make sure that... Oh, I'm just in Glitched Aquarium right away, huh? I thought there was... I thought there was going to be more lead up. And it is storming like hell out there. If I lose power, I'm going to be pissed. I've already come this far, and I finally got to Glitched Aquarium. Ooh, that's really nice. Big, like, jellyfish mural. So, the cases that we have here. We have United States versus 422 casks of wine. United States versus 43 gallons of whiskey. There's a couple of alcohol ones. United States versus 40 barrels and 20 kegs of Coca-Cola. United States versus 95 barrels alleged apple cider vinegar. United States versus 1 package of Japanese pessaries. I don't actually know what pessaries are. United States versus 11 and a quarter dozen packages of articles labeled, in part, Miss Moffat's shoe fly powder for drunkenness. Marcus versus search warrant. This is a weird one. It was... The named object was not the seized property, but the warrant in which it was seized itself. That's a weird one. Oh my god, that background looks so nice. That's a really, really good parallax. Wow. Whoa, that's really, really cool. Yeah, okay, that's just one big invisible wall. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Is this a door? I don't think it is. It is! United States versus 1 solid gold object in the form of a rooster. Not sure what that's about. I'm pretty sure there are multiple movies with this premise. Because isn't there... I guess it's not solid gold, but the movie The Maltese Falcon comes to mind. Quantity of books versus Kansas. Which, that's an interesting one. I think that's a censorship affair? There's a couple of cases that are exactly this. I think this is a obscenity censorship trial. Wow, this looks nice. I can't even sit down though. Ugh. So what all is in this area? Oh my god, it's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. And then there's a map here. Oh my god. Wherever I am, I think I went the right way, but what is... So what is faint memory? It's right down here. Okay, so quantity of books versus Kansas. Oop. Let me back up there. Ooh. Wilderness moment? Faint memory. Ooh. Really cool. I like the visual effect on this. Oh my god, there's more. What do you mean there's more? I assumed this was the end of the path. We can still go further. Okay, let's try it. Memoirs versus Massachusetts. Which, one moment, while I pull up the specifics on this one. Case involving Fanny Hill. Hang on, it's a little hard to navigate this place, especially when I'm holding a phone in the other hand. This is why distracted driving kills kids. In fact, it does kill kids. Don't distracted drive, that's what I'm getting at. Book named John Cleland's Memoirs of a Woman of Pleasure. Okay, so it's like a, oh, what is the name of the book? lady, it was lady, it started with a B. I forget its name. It was some famous book in antiquity that was like shunned because it was Madame Bovary. That's what I'm thinking of. It's like Madame Bovary. It was like a court case against a book because people were clutching their pearls that the book had obscene things in it and it was like openly displaying stuff like adultery. Okay, I'm going the wrong way, but at least this proves that it's not that you can kind of walk around in here. I was worried this was going to be one distinct path and a bunch of dead ends, but this looks a little bit more open than that. One 1958 Plymouth sedan versus Pennsylvania 380 US 693. Okay, I guess a lot of these are going to be Fourth Amendment rights things, I suppose, because a lot of these are like search and seizure or like okay, so the whatever like precinct now is in possession of something they are not supposed to be in possession of. What happens now? Ooh. What is this then? Okay, hang on. I think I might have to approach this from the other side. Which is up here, then? I think it's this path down here. Yeah. This is very cool. This is making me think of the, like, scribbles where you find the stretch effects. Ooh. Oh, no shit. Geometry World? Wow, the end result of this is a shortcut to Geometry World. That's really interesting. I guess kind of a bum deal at the moment, but maybe this area gets expanded a bit more. Because like at present, there is a one-way path that leads here and an unlockable connection from here. So I can only hope that this gets expanded in the future. But yeah, that's a really cool thing to see. Alright, how am I doing? 22 minutes. What is the free expedition? Sunset Mesa! I'm not going there. Okay, maybe I'll go here. This is... Nadeko... Yeah, I think I'm fine. Nothing against Nadeko, but it's a long path. That's a long path, and I only have like 8, 7, 6 minutes to go and do things. So where to? Usually I default to Cocktail Lounge. Let's try... Where to go, where to go, where to go? Tell you what. Just gonna go to the first place that pops into my head and we'll go from there. I'm thinking Marijuana Goddess World to Dark Room, and then Dark Room to, let's try Japantown, and we'll go from there. While I keep reading these. United States versus 37 photographs is another obscenity one. United States versus 12,200 foot reels of film. A case very similar to the above, heard by the Supreme Court 2 years later. Yeah, it's down here and then to the right. Nebraska versus... Oh, this is a fun one. Nebraska versus one 1970 two-door sedan Rambler. Parentheses. Gremlin. I don't know what the deal is with that one. Hope the Gremlin was okay. United States versus article consisting of 50,000 cardboard boxes, more or less, each containing one pair of clacker balls. Oh, interesting. Held that the seizure provisions of the Federal Hazardous Substances Act do not violate due process. Interesting. This was in the 70s. United States versus 50 acres of land. I see, it's the eminent domain, fair enough. United States versus one lucite ball containing lunar material and one 10-inch by 14-inch wooden plaque. That sounds like the setup for an Ace Attorney case. That sounds like almost like one degree of separation removed from an actual plot point from Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. RMS Titanic Inc. versus the wrecked and abandoned vessel RMS Titanic. Huh? I might have heard of this, actually. This is like, there was like a shell company that tried to take control of the remains of the Titanic or something like that. Yeah. United States versus $124,700 in US currency. United States versus approximately 64,695 pounds of shark fins. South Dakota versus 15 impounded cats. That just sounds like the plot of Mugenics. United States versus one Tyrannosaurus batar skeleton. Okay, there was one, I missed one, I think. Yeah, way back up here. United States versus one book called Ulysses. Okay, that's an interesting one. So if you've never heard of Ulysses before, Ulysses is the masterwork of James Joyce, the Irish novelist. It is a very absurd, very obscene stream of consciousness book. I've not read it yet. I plan to someday. I've heard it's very dense and very... It feels weird to compare it with Homestuck, but I feel like that's the best comparison I can think of that, like, fits with the common tongue of literature and, like, reading in general. It's weird. It's really, really weird. There are entire passages that aren't even written in English, and I don't mean written in Gaelic. I mean written in, like, German and Latin and French and shit. It is a very, very strange, obtuse, intentionally so. A lot of stuff happens. Some unsavory things, some just bizarre things. And for a while... Oh, it's this place. I don't need to go here. For a while, there was, you know, because this was back in... When was this case? 1933, yeah. Back during this period of time, there were people that were genuinely talking about banning it from sale because it was too obscene. Because this was back in the age of, like, flagrant Puritanism, I think is the best way to describe it. Oh! Hang on, let me unlock this connection. Yeah, sure. United States versus one Tyrannosaurus batar skeleton. That's a fun one. And then, my personal favorite, and also by far the strangest one here, United States versus 450, parentheses 450, ancient cuneiform tablets. Now this is an interesting case. This was a extremely high caliber smuggling scandal that was being perpetrated by the family that I think still runs the Hobby Lobby store chain. That what was essentially going on, which this also genuinely feels like an Ace Attorney plotline. They are to my understanding, they're a deeply religious family. And they went out of their way to, by whatever means they managed, procure a whole bunch of Iranian artifacts, specifically cuneiform tablets and bulai, and tried to bring them into what was essentially a private museum. And this was found out by the U.S. government, and to my understanding, it was a joint effort between the U.S. government and the Iranian government to like seize and retrieve the tablets and bullais so that they could actually go back to Iran where they belong. It's a weird, weird story. I would recommend looking into it further because it's such a. The world has so much bizarre beauty to it that we can only scratch the surface of. But that's all I got for now. I think I'm gonna chill here. But thanks so much for watching, y'all.